Oh, now it's recording. Maybe I just had to hit it twice.
Maybe.
Okay, let's see.
I like your boots.
Thank you.
I wish I could wear boots like
They're real Texas boots.
that.
They are. I got them in Texas. Okay, I want you just to speak like loudly.
And not mumble and speak, enunciate.
Be yourself.
Alright.
Be yourself. Okay. We will begin the interview. Do you know anyone who works at the SEPA facilities, SEPA facility workers?
No, I don't know anyone that works at SEPA facilities.
Why do you think you don't?
I could say a lot of excuses, but it's probably just because I don't actively try and build a relationship with anyone on facilities. Yeah.
How do you feel like you show that you appreciate the work they do?
At SEPA, I probably the only appreciation that I show is to make sure that whatever facilities I use, I try and make it clean so that they don't have too much work that they need to do.
Do you think the SEPA student body has that same kind of perspective in general?
No, definitely don't think that. There are a lot of instances either in the bathrooms or in the rooms after events that there's some sort of mess that's left over that they just sort of hurriedly clean up and not really take the time to fix what they've messed up.
And what do you think about SEPA students in general?
In general, I like SEPA students. I like that we're a very international mix of people, just giving a lot of different perspectives on what's going on, but it does lead to a different understanding of the space for sure, in terms of how to treat communal space like SEPA. But I feel like that comes with any sort of experience when you have people from many different cultures.
So what do you mean different understandings of treating communal space?
I think people think of communal space differently. Some people have the mentality to leave it as you found it, sort of not leaving a mess, and others will just assume that there are custodial workers or facilities workers that are paid to clean up, and then there are others who are just somewhere in the middle. Either they're forgetful or stressful period of time, and so they leave more of a mess than they anticipate.
What do you think about the SEPA faculty administration?
I honestly, they must be doing a good job because I've never had to talk to them. Other than working with student groups and the business office. Teachers are good. They seem to know what they're doing in the sense, and learning well from them administration wise. Obviously there are things that could be better, but in terms of my experience and what I'm paying for, it makes sense to me, so they're all right.
What do you think the average facilities worker does during their workday?
I assume there's a lot of inventory. There's a lot of throughout the day they'll check bathrooms, classrooms when they're free to clean up, take stock of things, take out trash, maintain a lot of the behind the scenes in terms of like the boiler room and air condition and whatnot. Answering requests from different students or facilities or administration. A lot of maybe not customer service, but troubleshooting issues that might come up as well.
So kind of going back to students at SEPA and the SEPA community, how do you expect and want other SEPA students to treat you in like day-to-day interactions?
I definitely would want SEPA students to treat me with respect, in terms of even if they might not agree with my point of view, that they're able to logically understand why I would have that. and agree to disagree versus trying to change why I believe in something, and not attack me for having a different belief than them. I think that's how I would like to be treated by SIPA students, and for the most part I do see that. I would also appreciate, in terms of treatment from SIPA students, that they just aren't assholes, or that they aren't that they're just not douchey.
Do you think that's the reality?
For the most part, with the people that I do interact with, yes. But I do know that there's going to be people out there that are jerks and disrespectful, and I just choose not to interact with them if they ever are like that.
How would you describe the culture of the SIPA community as a whole?
Culture, I definitely think that the culture as a whole is that people are here to get an education to help their own careers, whether it is changing careers or starting their careers or whatnot. And they are open to helping other people do that as well. Just help people gain access to people in the field, or support them emotionally, or mainly just emotionally, because I don't know anyone yet that's offered a job to anyone that I know. But culturally, I think it's very positive or neutral, because it's a sense of culture where if you don't know a person or you're not really close with them, there's not really a desire to go out of your way to help them. A lot of coasting, if that makes sense. A lot of just trying to power your way through your day, power your way through these 2 years. Definitely, I see that as a culture as well.
So if you had to describe the SIPA community in like under 5 words, what would you say?
Driven, focused, social to a degree, that's 5 words technically.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly 5 words. We're at 7. We're at like 8 minutes. What are some other questions I should ask you, Alex?
How long do you need to be?
Like 10.
Um,
Have you ever done any custodial work, or the kind of work you imagine facilities workers do?
I used to work at a restaurant, and so sometimes I'll have to clean after tables, and that's about it.
How long did you do that?
Just for a month. I was backpacking and worked at a bar and a restaurant and a hostel.
What did you think about that kind of work?
It was fine. Definitely, because I was backpacking in South America, and so I was doing that work just for room and board. So in terms of compensation, it probably wasn't. The lack of compensation definitely reflected in my work. But I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say it's. I could see how it would get frustrating if there's a lot of mistreatment of facilities, and people not understanding that this is a communal space, and so don't treat it like. I don't know. I'm reminded of, I guess, like public bathrooms, like public park bathrooms, how they're like in disarray, and like people just sort of urinate everywhere or defecate everywhere, and just sort of mistreat it because it's not mine, so like who cares, or break stuff or steal stuff. And I feel like if you worked in facilities and you had to deal with that, that'd be really frustrating. I don't think that's the case here, but definitely I could see people who would misuse facilities, not the restrooms, but more the rooms, in terms of like sticking gum in annoying places, or dropping really smelly food on the floor and not making an effort to clean it up, or contact facilities to know what's going on. I guess the other side of facilities would be like audiovisual, if there's any issues with that. I don't know if facilities manages that, but if people break that, then I think that can be really frustrating. Yeah.
If there was a facilities worker here right now, what would you say to them?
I think I would say that I appreciated what they did, because I know it's not the type of work that I personally would want to do. So I think I would recognize that their call just to service, and I think a lot of people who serve, like in the service industry, are very taken advantage of and not necessarily recognized. And I think in terms of my worldview, those people definitely should deserve the most credit, because they do the jobs that no one ever wants to do. So I tell them that. Yeah, and I used to do stuff at university and undergrad for facilities workers with some of my orgs, and I know that they appreciated just being recognized, so that's something that I would want to do, to tell them, to express. There's a lot of excuses of no time and no money now, but I don't know. Yeah. I don't know where I was going with that.
That was perfect. Thank you so much.